How's it going, YouTube? Hi Drax, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 best units to use in the Extreme Co-op Challenge against Super Baby 2 that is currently live now, and you can grind up for a great amount of rewards. But with every co-op that we get, especially the Extreme Clash one, there's always going to be that one specific unit that's going to do better than the rest, and that is going to be LFSJ4 Goku. So naturally at number 1 we would see the best unit to use would be LFSJ4, but if you don't have him, which is likely if you are saving for the 30th anniversary, or if you just don't like the character or it does not fit in many of your teams, you wouldn't want to summon for him because he is the only featured unit on his banner. As you can see, he is getting a 300% increased damage and a 50% increase to Dragonball chance. Sustained damage cut isn't that important, but it is there if you have a low star unit anyways. As you can see, this is my party, but we will speak about him later on. At number 1 we obviously have SSJ4 Goku. If you have him, you should obviously be using him, and you wouldn't be watching this video if you do have him. For number 2, it is not clear who you should use. I have used the GT Vegeta, this Vegeta here, but after using him in just one match with a similarly starred Vegeta with a similar type of bonus, he does not perform well. It took us well over 3 double rising rushes to finally bring down Super Baby 2, and that includes our rushes not getting guessed. So I wouldn't recommend using him. He's not that great, but if you're in a bind, it's just gonna take you longer to complete. So if you don't have any other better options, then this guy is your better option. But for number 2, we're gonna go with Android 18 for the pure and simple fact that she does 25% extra damage against tag Saiyans. There's it here. And she gets card draw on swap in, so she's gonna do a hell of a lot of damage. And with her green card swapping all of blast cards to strike cards, she's gonna be doing a hell of a lot more damage than, let's say, this non-Zenkai GT Vegeta. So at number 2 we have Android 18. For number 3 is a bit of a difficult situation, or a difficult spot to fill, because there are 2 good units that fit well on here, but I feel like one of them outshines the other, and that would be the Zenkai 7 Frieza. This Frieza is a powerful opponent character, hence he would be receiving a 50% extra damage buff, and he does 40% extra damage to Saiyans, which is a hell of a lot considering that he has Zenkai stats, type advantage, and he is going up against a Super Baby 2 which is a Saiyan with type disadvantage, so he's going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. So at number 3 we have the Frieza here. At number 4, in a close number 4, we have the Demon King Piccolo right here. Demon King Piccolo, when he swaps in, he gets cards, he gets card draw speed, he gets ki, he gets everything he needs to, and he does extra damage if the enemy is poisoned. But this does not apply to Super Baby 2 because he is immune. He's immune to all downgrades, attribute downgrades, poison, bleed, all that stuff, so he is immune. But just having the stats that he has, he's going to be doing super great, especially coupled with this green card that reloads his hand. So I definitely recommend using him as a close number 4. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky because there are a number of different options that you can use. One of them is definitely this Zenkai, not Zenkai. This is the Sin Shenron that released a very long time ago, and as you can see, he is a defense type, but that is why I do not recommend. As I said, I definitely would not recommend using him, as he's a defense type and he doesn't get many damage buffs. So I wouldn't recommend using him as, or wouldn't label him as the 5th best unit to use for this. Obviously, if you have other units like Zenkai LF Piccolo, you'd want to use him because he does do extra damage against Saiyans, a couple with a really strong blue card I would say he would probably be your best fit at number 5. But since he is a LF, I'm not going to count him because having him at 7 stars, it doesn't seem very likely because LFs are quite difficult to pull and he hasn't been back for very long. For the 5th best unit, I am going to go with the Broly here. Definitely a unique unit in the sense that not many people were impressed by him, but considering that he does provide a lot in terms of damage, I would recommend that you use him instead of maybe say other units that are currently on there. Maybe instead of maybe a non-powerful opponent unit, because he does gain the 50% damage increase against the Super Baby 2, so he will be hitting a little bit harder than usual. So this guy does 30% disarm family, which doesn't apply, but he does gain 60% for coming in and it cannot be cancelled. He restores health minus card arts cost, and he does a shit ton of damage with his ult, and he has a cover chain to save your ally if you need to do that. So those are my 5 best units that you can use for this event. Honorable mentions include the Zenkai Vegeta. Honestly, if you want to use him, go ahead, he's a Zenkai, it doesn't really matter. But what you want to be aiming for are powerful opponents, since they get 50% extra damage if you do not have the LFSSJ4 Goku. So any of these characters that I'm pointing out may be hit. Sin Shenron, there's Broly, Frieza, and Demon King Piccolo if they are Zenkai. Even Goku Black if you have him Zenkai 7. All of those guys fit perfectly in the role that they're supposed to play, which is a damage dealer. Some units may take longer than others, which is the case when you have bonus units with fluctuating damage. But as you can see, I have tested out a couple of these units and I can clearly say that the list that I provided is the clear list that will definitely help you if you don't have these units. Nothing is stopping you from using Sin Shenron. He is GT, he is powerful opponent, but because he is a defense type that doesn't provide any damage buffs on a good majority of his kit, I don't see him doing a lot of damage after or before Rising Rush. As you saw in his kit, he gets 50% extra damage once the Rising Rush is completed. By that point you actually just want to kill the enemy, so I would opt not to use him and the GT Vegeta, just purely because GT Vegeta does not have his most powerful tool of his kit active, which is the attribute downgrade he inflicts on enemies when he uses the blast card, because the Super Baby 2 is immune to all that stuff. So just to recap, the list is as follows: LFSJ4 at number 1, Zenkai 18 at number 2, number 3 is the Zenkai Final Form Frieza, number 4 is Zenkai Demon King Piccolo, and at number 5 you can have your own choice between Hit, this SSJ Broly, and the Sin Shenron, with the Hit being the more optimal unit if you want to get the damage up on with the crits. Any of these other units would fit perfectly well, especially this LF transforming Piccolo, but I would recommend you use the units that were clearly laid out for you guys. If you are not sure about what units are going to be good for this, maybe check out some other videos, because if you don't have these units, which is likely Zenkai, maybe you're gonna be forced to use somebody like maybe Turles or I don't know, full power Frieza or something. They will do well enough, but as I said, this is a timed raid, so you want to get in as many of these runs as possible. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you think there are any other better units to use in this event. I would gladly like to know, because I don't have LFSSJ4. Anyways, make sure to like that, make sure to smash the like button, like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Hydrax, and I'll catch you all in the next one.